President MUHAMMADU Buhari to attend APC National Executive Committee meeting. Reaction follows anti-military remarks by General THEOPHILUS DANJUMA. Presidential Advisory Committee and Anti-Corruption Partners TELEVISON. Welcome to PM News on Television Nigerian. I am Cynthia Agbo. President MUHAMMADU Buhari is to attend the All Progressive Congress National Executive Committee meeting coming up on Tuesday. APC governors elected on the party's platform, members of its board of trustee and national working committee members, among others, are also expected to attend the meeting. This was disclosed by the party's national publicity secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, on Monday. Abdullahi explained that the gathering, which is final leg of the meeting that was held last month, will be a routine NEC meeting. The meeting is expected to discuss issues as the amendment of the party's constitution and the report by the Committee on True Federalism. In a February 26 meeting, the party's National Executive Council extended the tenure of the party's National Working Committee and other executive members across all levels by 1 year, starting from June this year. The Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption is partnering the Tertiary Education Trust Fund to drive government's anti-corruption effort to the education sector. In this report, TVN Bernard Joshua underscores the relevance of the partnership.
As part of government's effort to ensure transparency and rid the country of corrupt practices, the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption, Ise Sage, says agencies must key in. This formed the basis of his visit to Tertiary Education Trust Fund. The visit is aimed at sharing notes on way of partnership in the fight against corruption.
During your training, and we're going back very, very comfortable that the funds of that fund are being well spent, being well monitored, and producing good results on our training. So we're very grateful.
The fund's executive secretary, Abdullahi Bafa, says the fund is ready to partner with relevant government organizations to sanitize the system.
People were going to all sorts of charity in the name of conferences. They're just going for tourism and picnic. And we said we will not approve any scholar to go to any conference that is not an academic conference.
The meeting was an opportunity to share thoughts on the best way to drive government's anti-corruption war in the education sector. From Abuja, Bernard Joshua, TVN News.
The wife of President MUHAMMADU Buhari, Aisha Buhari, has been appointed as United Nations AIDS Special Ambassador for the elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and promotion of treatment for children living with HIV in Nigeria. Michael Sidip, UN AIDS Executive Director, disclosed this in a statement in Abuja. The statement further explained that the trust and respect commanded by the wife of the president will help the UN AIDS to quicken the pace of stopping new HIV infections among the children, as well as ensuring treatment for all children living with the virus. Sidip also noted that the appointment of Aisha Buhari will reinforce government's efforts at scaling up the response to HIV in the country. Aisha Buhari is expected to use her one-year tenure to advocate increased access to antenatal care services and HIV testing for all pregnant women and their linkage to adequate treatment and care. The recent remarks by a former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma, accusing the Nigerian military of colluding with killer headsmen, has continued to generate controversies. A guest on television Nigeria's program Issues of the Moment, Amos Dunia, said the remarks by the former army chief was not out of place.
What the Danjuma said is nothing new to what others have said before now. But the difference is the personality of Danjuma. That's what has created this report. Be that as it may, Danjuma was conscious with his choice of words. He said they are colluding Collusion could mean different things. It could mean inaction. It could mean refusal to act appropriately. It could also mean deliberate act to turn the other way when certain things are happening that are supposed to nip in the bud. Be that as it may, I do not see a respected T.Y. DANJUMA going off the course.
Amos Jr., who was a one-time Abuja chapter president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, lambasted what he described as the inability of the government to bring the suspected headsmen to book. He called for an overhaul of the country's security architecture, insisting that the President Muhammadu Buhari must take proactive measures to guarantee the safety of lives and properties. After the break, Federal Civil Service Commissioners advocate national unity. Thanks for staying tuned. A recent workshop for commissioners of the Federal Civil Service Commission has emphasized the need for national unity to enable government to implement its policies and programs. TVN Bernard Joshua has more on this.
Nigeria is a country with diverse culture, ethnic nationalities and interests. The country's diversity is witnessed in the various agitation for national relevance by the different interests in the country. To help create national unity and give all citizens a sense of belonging, especially in job creation, Act No. 34 of 1996 set up the Federal Character Commission. In a recent seminar that brought together all commissioners and representatives of ministries, departments and agencies, the agreement centered on bringing to fore efforts by governments through the Commission to promote national unity.
The Constitution did not attempt to make a mistake, neither did it commit any error. It was a deliberate provision that every state of the Federation, Mr. Chairman, must be represented in such a very key, important commission like the Federal Character Commission.
I want to believe that federal character is on its own mandate, trying to carry its function. Believing that the National Assembly too will be acting and working on the reports that will be turned in from time to time.
I expect you to take the message back home by adequately informing their excellencies, the executive governors of your respective states, to imbibe the spirit of federal character, or rather states or local government character, in all aspects of appointments, recruitments, and the spread of socio-economic amenities and infrastructural facilities in order to maintain the balance.
We continue to pledge our loyalty. We shall continue to support the government in realizing its full mandate.
The Commission will also direct public efforts towards nation building. Bernard Joshua, TVN News, Abuja.
Moving on to sport, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has described the bid process for the 2026 World Cup as fair, objective and transparent. The FIFA boss disclosed this after the global football body announced it had received bid books from 2 candidates. In a statement, FIFA said that it had received 1 bid from Morocco and a joint bid from the United States, Canada and Mexico. The World Football Governing Body is due to choose the host of its annual Congress in Moscow in June. The 2 bids will be evaluated by a task force which will visit all the potential host nations. FIFA has been heavily criticized for how it conducted the selection of hosts in the past. And on the foreign scene, President Donald Trump's approval rating has rebounded to its highest level since the 100-day mark of his presidency. A new poll, however, shows his approval rating for handling major issues remained largely negative. Overall, 42% of Americans approve of the way Trump is handling the presidency, while 54% disapprove. The approval is up 7 points overall since February, including 6-point increases among Republicans and independents. Trump's approval rating remains below that of all of his modern-era predecessors at this stage in their first term after being elected, though Trump only trails Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama by a narrow 4 points at this point in their first terms. To end the news, a recap of the major stories. President MUHAMMADU Buhari to attend APC National Executive Committee meeting. Reaction follows anti-military remarks by General THEOPHILUS DANJUMA. Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption Partners TECFON. That's the news on Television Nigerian. Before we go, I leave you with these thoughts. Be careful who you make an enemy and choose your friends wisely. But more importantly, choose your enemies even more wisely. Thanks for staying tuned. I am Cynthia Agbot. You have yourself a wonderful day.